So Cam Newton recently just sat down with a lovely young lady, and amongst all of their discussions in their 4.5-hour podcast, one of the things that they talked about was specific to cheating or respectable cheating. Now, this conversation interests me not only because Kevin Samuels used to talk about respectable cheating, but then also a couple of months back, Cam Newton talked about on a show with Corey Holcomb about how he used to cheat on his now current girlfriend.
Yo, shit away, but what do you mean you don't have a network?
I don't have no web of women.
I don't understand. You saying it ain't no other woman but the one woman?
Yes, but that's what I'm asking you when.
Ah, damn, see, I f***ed up. See, I lost a radio host because I put him on the spot like this, but I didn't say his name or nothing like I'm talking to you. Yeah. I'm saying this is what we gotta accept, Cam.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, understanding, as long as I've been with Jazz, I'm being completely honest by saying I have been with other women while being with Jazz. At this point of my life right now, I think where me and Jazz are, she's helped me nurture me to being exclusively to her. And it comes with time, that comes with patience, that comes with uncomfortable conversations that say, hey, babe, well, hold on. You did what? Okay, not motherfucker, let me tell you. No, that's not the energy that she's coming with.
Of course.
She's saying, hold on. But why though?
Another reason why I wanted to talk about it is because the doctor in this young woman's name, and it made me think back to this conversation actually, that Cam Newton had with a Dr. Cheyenne in this video that was entitled, "The 41-Year-Old Dating Coach is a Fraud." What I find interesting within certain subsects of people is that they will utilize this degree of education that they earned, even if they've earned it from currently non-accredited schools, as a way to kind of posture themselves as a thought leader. Nevertheless, I did a quick Google search on this Dr. Sarah and found out that her doctorate degree is honorary. At this point, I'm gonna start making some damn calls to some institutions to apply for an honorary degree so I can call myself Dr. MTR. By the way, before we get started, I just want to just say that it's not that you need a degree in order to talk about things within reality. I just can't stand those that posture their degree to speak from a place of authority. I have multiple degrees, although none of y'all would know that because it's not something that I put in my title. I don't write it in my bio. I just want to come to you guys and speak with high integrity. There's bound to be some bullshit afoot, so let's get active. Without further ado,
I took advantage of. Sad to say, but I'm just living in my truth. Knowing what I know, a lot of women don't realize, it's like, yo, do you know the difference between a man who really with you or a man that's just you?
End of podcast.
Yeah, most don't.
That's a bar.
And it's ego.
I have a lot of those.
I see. Please. Can I ask one question though, a personal question?
Please.
Because, and this is, for me, I want clarity because I saw a clip that you did and it went viral and it was talking about relationships and you had said what you said about your relationship now and how it hasn't always been that person. And I think for me, inside of that, my mind immediately went to, well, is this really cheating or is this an arrangement? Because I think that a lot of the times people that don't understand or don't know, or they're so quick to label something. Oh, that man's a cheater, he's a cheater. Is he? Or is this something that you guys have decided and come from an empowering way where now, she may feel like she has to respond or whatever it is, but the truth is she only feels like she has to respond because people don't know what it is.
For sure.
So
that's actually a good point.
I think that ultimately, because most men, most high value, high earning, masculine men with a lot of options at a certain time of their life will still exercise those options. That's just the reality of the situation. And also, I think that if you talk about it in an empowering way of we are grown adults and we know exactly what we're signing up for, that sounds a little bit different than, I get to do what I want to do.
Now, I've always agreed that men with options like that, extremely valuable men, will exercise their options. What I've never agreed with is the degree of cheating, right? I always thought that a man should be truthful. Now, whether or not you like it or not, this is where I am as a man. If you want to sign up for my programming, understand that these are the benefits. One of the cons or the consequences may be that I might be in someone else's bed on occasion, having just a little bit of fun, but I'm gonna treat you this certain way. She don't get this special type of treatment. She just gets in bubble gum. And if women sign up to this arrangement, it's not cheating because all parties know know what is going on, and she accepts it. Now, with those consequences also comes the benefits of his high value lifestyle, one of which she would not have access to unless she deals with some of those negative things. And I say negative because just because a man wants to have sex with multiple women does not make it negative. It all depends on the context of the situation.
You know what I mean? Just the difference between this is an arrangement or this is cheating. I don't think most people understand that because most people will never be in the top 1% of the 1%, nor date the top 1% of the 1%.
Now, to answer your question, I think this is what makes this platform a little different because I've seen you on multiple platforms, and I don't think I would agree, or a lot of people can see the life that I've lived.
Right.
Or can cope with like this, that, and the third. To answer your question, I don't think this is an arrangement, nor is it cheating. I think you grow with somebody. And the crazy thing, going back to what I previously said, when you're living in your truth, right? A lot of people want the benefits without also accepting the bullshit. Now, a person who may hear that may say, "Oh, so I'm okay, I'm good.
That's fine.
I'm sorry that you're not for me."
Yeah.
But when you cite the source of who that comment is coming from,
very true.
You're not mine either.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
The thing that I say for every man, and with having that conversation with Corey Holcomb, it allowed me to speak my truth. But I could not go into, because of the timing and how the conversation went, the reality of it is, when you're living in your truth, being able to be 100% yourself that's the flex.
Yeah.
That's the flex. Not the flex in saying I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do. The flex is being able to say, I know I fucked up. Babe, before you hear this shit from somebody else, I'm man enough to tell you this is where I'm at mentally. And she does an unbelievable job by not judging the branch of the tree, but getting to the root of the tree. Because everything stems from something. And as I put my life in the forefront, I'm challenging all men to have that uncomfortable conversation with your partner.
Sheesh, yeah.
That we all, stop the lying, bro. Stop all that bullshit ass, that bullshit, dog.
That was just a long roundabout way to explain that he used to be a cheater and now he doesn't cheat anymore. I don't agree with what he's saying in terms of it wasn't cheating or it wasn't an arrangement, but it also sounds like to me that he's taking his experiences and trying to tell men not to follow within his footsteps. I can't stand when men talk about this my truth shit multiplied with very unclear communication. It sounds like he's making shit up as he's talking about it because he's trying to escape the accountability of whatever it was. It's not cheating, it's growing in. I mean, let's call a spade here. Now, the caveat in there is that if he said he was respectably cheating, sort of like what Kevin said earlier, or if the woman knew what was going on.
When a man cheats on you, this is what it looks like. When he goes and buys his mistress the same size house he got you. When he goes and buys her the matching Mercedes you got. When he buys her the same shoes and the same bag and the same everything else, then he's cheating. But until then, unless you got another high value man to replace the one you got, what do you think the pragmatic smart move would be?
Yeah, don't bring it up if you don't want to deal with it, I guess.
And if you do bring it up, if he looks you dead in your face and say, yeah, I'm fucking my secretary, then what?
Oh, I can't imagine somebody saying that to me. I don't think he'd be that cold.
Y'all just don't get it.
Anyway, I want to see a response.
Because when you have these conversations with the fellas, and there is a meme or something that Mike Epps said in a stand-up comedy, he's like, that don't act like that. But for me, I act like that around my partner. She knows that. And this is not something that I act when I need other people to witness it. The thing that is the biggest flex is we go on dates, we go out, we do life together, and I'm able to be myself. I ask her about her, She asked me about me, and we throw it all out there. And of course, there are some things that I've said to her that hurt her feelings.
Of course.
But in return, she says some things that hurt my feelings.
Of course.
The flex is we're able to go to bed at night.
Yeah.
And we cuddle.
Yeah.
We talk.
Yes.
We wake up in the morning. I smoke my cigar. I have my espresso. She eats her croissant. She drinks her smoothie. And we're able to communicate.
Yeah.
That right there is something that's easily said, but not always implemented.
And I think the problem is because men have been groomed to lie based off of their experiences with women. And this isn't to give anybody an out, because I do have, you know, I speak a lot to the men and accountability for women, but let's call a spade a spade. The truth is, Cam, if you were honest from the beginning, and I've only ever been in monogamous relationships, right? So I don't know. But if my man were to come to me, because I've never been in a relationship for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I can't speak from an experience I've never had, but so often people try to do that. So if my man came to me and said, baby, you know what? I want to try something different. The truth is, I don't know what my answer would be. However, the level of respect that I have for that man, that we can have a conversation and be like, okay, this is what it looks like. Because a lot of women think they're in monogamous relationships, but their men just keep it hidden. And so I feel like in a huge way, and that is the point, that men and women need to communicate about the desires of their heart. And then I can powerfully choose you, or I can powerfully let you go. But so often we get into these spaces where it's like, oh no, well, my man would never. Your man probably is.
Yes.
My girl would never. Oh, your girl probably already did.
Yes.
You know, and so I think that it's important to have that conversation, because it's like, and this is my honest truth is, I think cheating is weak. I think cheating is weak, and I say that because you're bold enough to make this action that you're hiding around, and you're deceitful, and you got to be sneaky, but you're not bold enough to tell your partner.
Surprisingly, I do not disagree with her, like at all. This is, conversation's not going exactly how I thought it was going to go with that honorary doctorate degree, but I agree. I've always said that I think that as a masculine man, you need to operate with integrity. And if, by definition, if you're sticking in another woman and the woman that you're in a relationship with doesn't know about it.
Just think how sweet it would be if you could talk to your girl for real. Do you know the harmony that might be able to come from that? But you didn't pick a girl you could talk to for real. You picked a girl that you're willing to act for as long as you can keep her. That's what most people are in that situation.
But I think that part of the issue is that, listen, as human beings, we always just work off a system of incentivizations. Men are incentivized to have multiple women, especially earlier or younger within their life. Again, if they deprioritize peace, because the more women around, the less peace you're going to have. That's a fact. But having multitudes of women, while those same women do not mess with other men, typically within history, that is resolved for kings, princes, sultans, and the like, meaning the highest degree of men with money, power, wealth, and status. So they'll go out and do that. But I still think that it's low integrity.
Now, an arrangement, like I said, if you know exactly what it is, or you know exactly what to expect, that is completely different from a deceitful act. It's not the act of a man having sex with another woman that women care about. Why is the first question that a woman asks after she's cheated on, well, do you love her? Because it's not about the physical act. We know that men don't care about most of the women that they smash anyway. It's not realistic to even say that. So I feel like women don't care about the act. They care about the feeling.
Her point right here goes back exactly to what Kevin was saying. Like, yeah, you put eggplant in her, but did you give her the assets, the money, the resources, the time that you give me?
They care about the deceit. They care about the lies. And if men would just take accountability and keep it a buck with how and who they are, then it would be a different ballgame. And I do think that that's a conversation that needs to happen more often. And I don't know why there's so much shame wrapped around humans being human.
For sure.
It is what it, in my personal opinion.
But we're all living a lie.
I rebuke that.
Not we're all, but there's people who are living a lie.
Absolutely. Look on
like,
Instagram.
Come on, bro.
Open the app.
Like, it's all power couple goals, this, that, and the third. But it's like, bro, nigga, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, tell her what you really doing for that other person.
Yes.
Or, sis, tell him
about your work husband.
Come on.
You gotta tell him.
Who you texting? Because cheating comes in many different shapes, forms, and sizes,
Agreed.
and it don't always have to deal or do with the physical act of sex.
I agree.
So you said something real quick, and I have to move on. We are 40 minutes into this first sector.
Oh, wow.
But we're starting a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
In my situation,
Yeah.
I never went into or never had a conversation to say, like, I want to try something new. That's not what it is. We started off like, this is who I am.
Oh, okay. Well then,
This is my triggers. This is what makes me weak. This is my negative. If we're looking at this in a very, let's say, tangible way,
Okay.
when we're on eHarmony, tell me something good about you.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'm also going to say, what is something bad about you? Blah, 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 blah.
well, yeah. And again, if this was something that I was knowing in the beginning that is not cheating, it's an arrangement. You have an arrangement to be poly while she does not. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Have those type of conversations.
Important.
So it's not about me doing certain things that she's not aware of. It's when we started this journey together. We made the oath to each other, promised to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. There's a thing that I feel that triggers me in a relationship. Don't spoon feed me information.
Period.
Knowing who I am, you know what the I want to know.
Yeah.
If you went out with your girls, cool. How was that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. Oh, man, you know, she did this and she did that. Yeah, but you're keeping out that it was a man or men with y'all. That's what the fuck I'm asking.
Period.
Don't sit up here and leave that out.
Right.
And a lot of times, women do spoon feed information, which makes them just as guilty.
But it's because of the fragility of the ego.
That fragility word just flew. What the fuck is fragility?
It's when it's fragile.
Okay.
So
She's
if
about to
something
lose
is
me.
fragile, you have to be mindful of how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're dealing with a high-earning, high-value masculine man.
But if you're trying to keep it a buck,
You can keep it a buck, but we have to do it. I'm telling you, because Cam, my experience and my now is high-value, high-earning masculine man. I cannot
Why you not married then?
be like, baby, I was out with some dudes and we all like. I probably wouldn't say it like that. I would probably say it in a way that I know that you want to digest, but you know, it's you speaking from a man's perspective, but I'm a woman, so it's different.
okay.
There it is, folks. Took us a little bit longer than I thought to understand the bullshit, but it is odd work for me from one side of the coin to ride for integrity between both people within the relationship, but then also said that, well, I have to say things to you a certain type of way, not because it is the truth, but because of your fragile ass male ego. I often find that women will enter themselves into conversations that they know from the outside looking in, it is bad. And they proceed to tell you that, well, I didn't want to say anything because of how it might be perceived. Meanwhile, it's going to be perceived exactly how it is. How about you take accountability for the situation that you have placed yourself in with the people that you placed it with and do better?
A woman's power is to protect her body.
Yes.
In this day and age, a man's power is to protect his pockets.
Yes.
Understand that. So I say that because there's a situation that happened,
Yeah.
right? Where she says, babe, I was on a girls' trip. We went on the yacht.
Yeah.
And everybody around, some of us had partners, some of us was married, some of us had boyfriends, and some of us didn't.
Yeah.
And there were men involved.
Okay.
And flat out, whether it was her who said it or somebody who said it, my nigga ain't going for this.
Yeah.
So y'all either gonna have to leave.
This
or
is a
I'm gonna
perfect
leave.
example.
Because my situation, we tell each other everything.
It's a
Yeah.
perfect
And
situation.
I don't want nobody to take a picture. I don't want to be on somebody's story, and I'm gonna have to explain.
Yeah, period.
So
And the thing is that it's turned up times 10 for him because someone will take a picture of her and then all of a sudden it's in the blogs the next day, you know, because there's no privacy at this stage of notoriety. But what he said is 1,000% valid. Somebody knows how this is perceived and it's not perceived as well. Because you know, what are you guys getting invited on the yacht just to have a good time? No, someone's trying to you. But you're blaming my male ego as to why you do not tell me the truth, the complete and utter truth, because of my perceived insecurities off of the reality of what it is.
One of the two is going to have to happen. If they're supplying the good time, it's nothing for the man to supply the same thing. Meaning, if they're paying for that yacht, if you're dealing with a high value, high functioning man, how much does the yacht cost? Here, that's how much it is. Eliminate that gray area, because if I find out and you don't tell me, then that's where the trouble lies.
I agree.
So for me, if that's our relationship where we throw everything out there, it's not about, in the words of Charleston White, when you're speaking the truth, you cannot care how it comes off.
May I?
Please.
I do think one thing though, and this is outside looking in, this is just an opinion. It does not make me right. But I do think that from what I'm new to like the whole conversations that you've been having, like the newer conversations. I've been watching the newer conversations. The one thing that I do think is, even though it's the truth, there's a way to tell it. And what I mean by that is, I would love to see more of a protection around y'all as a unit. And why I say that is because if she's responding, does she feel protected? Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
But this is what I tell her. Baby, it's too many going on out here. And we locked in.
Yeah.
You know we locked in. I'm locked in with you. I'm in love with you. So for me to have to explain to the masses something that they don't even know or they don't even want to know, why the fuck is that even important? My thing is exposing the fuck shit, and by saying, hold on, bro. I can have this conversation, and I can go back home and I have another conversation, and we still are locked in even more. I don't gotta lie.
I agree.
I don't have to perpetrate this lifestyle of something. And when I say cheating, when I say other women, this ain't something that always is happening actively. We've been together going on 5 years. So for me, when those certain questions are asked, I'm talking about over the span of 5 years. And she knows everything, just like I know everything. It's too much, okay, I'm going to choose this and deal with that and not, don't tell me that. Because this is what I mean when I go back to the statement I said, you want the benefits, but you don't want the bullshit. You want the Birkin bag, you want the Cartier love bracelet, you want the house, you want the car, you want this, but when I need you, when I'm coming to you in a vulnerable state to say, babe, I'm not happy right now. I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with how business is going right now. This is what triggers me. Okay, my trigger may be different than Cam, than Sam, than Dan, or Donald. Because for Cam, it may be sex. For Donald, it may be domestic violence. For Sam, it may be alcoholism. For Donald or Dan, it may be drug abuse. So, bullshit, benefits. You don't get to pick up the baggage that you want. You have to say, what's your, what you said, stay power?
Staying power.
Staying power. And I'm not trying to have you as a hostage more so than a volunteer. Because I'm volunteering to be with you daily. I don't want you to be no hostage where it's like, man, he gonna do this or I gotta stay because, no. That's not that. Because if you want to ask yourself this ain't no new way of living. That's what people are so delusion about.
The delusion
this
is real.
shit been happening for years. Uncles, aunties, dads, granddads, like everybody has always dealt with temptation. And that's where I asked, have you been able to have that ecosystem? Because for me, I've learned with certain things, a lot of people can't cope with my lifestyle.
most will never understand
That-
to even know that they can or not.
But even to that point, when I get triggered, when I go through certain situations, bro, I'm coming to you like, dog, I'm hurting right now. I'm weak. I can't go to my women because of this. Because even though she's so submissive, even though she's so strong, even though she has so much insight, even though she has a way of calming me in ways that it does feel like a drug, there are certain things that I say to myself and I'm like, all right, I got a place of refuge.
I wanted to let that play for a little bit just so I can fully understand the thoughts that he was trying to convey. And what I interpreted from it is that he's trying to describe just women selecting based off of benefit as well as selecting based off of the consequences. And just like we talked about before. And within that certain men are going to have different needs and or expectations of them. One of his needs or expectations, from what I can gather, is that he wants to understand the situations that she puts herself in for the perception of, with another men around. He communicates that in a very unclear manner. And honestly, I think most people wouldn't interpret it the same exact way. But I will say, though, is that in terms of his prior conversation with the other doctor in comparison to her, she is coming about it while also disagreeing. She's disagreeing in a very respectful manner. So within that, I really appreciate this back and forth in comparison to the back and forth with the other lovely young lady. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the conversation right now, but I want to know from you guys down in the comment box, is there such thing as cheating? Is there such thing as respectable cheating? Do you ride the way that I think about these different things, or do you have another definition for it? Leave it down in the comment box down below, because I want to see your guys' thoughts. I'm actually thinking about doing another video, maybe live stream, where we can go through some of these topics, as well as go through the audience interaction of how you guys feel about it. But questions, comments, concerns, y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Leave me them comments down below, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube, peace.